How to build wealth with Bitcoin. Today, we're gonna look at how to build wealth with Bitcoin compared to other asset classes. And this is very important because we are in a retirement crisis. A lot of people I met, I asked them, oh, when they're gonna retire. They said they will never be able to. And some people say, well, I don't wanna stop working, and I really understand why you may not want to stop working. You want to keep working till your very very old ages. I understand and I respect that. But some people are sick. Some people get are not fortunate enough to be healthy to work till those days, and they would like to be able to have a rest and take a rest and not be working and not being forced to work. And to me, it's like a choice. If you want, you can. If you don't want to, you can not decide not to work. But at this point in time, we are in a situation where most people will not be able to retire just because the retirement money is not gonna be enough to sustain them for the month. So if you're getting 1,500 for your retirement and your lifestyle will need about 3,000 because inflation is high, the cost of everything in the grocery store are high, then you need uh, a a better return, a better store value, or a bigger amount of money to sustain you for the month. And so now we gonna look at ways you can save other than US dollars or retirement plan system or gold, other things like that, or the S&P 500. We're gonna look at those Bitcoin as an alternative, and we're gonna compare in the past 5 to 10 years what Bitcoin could have done for you instead of just relying on the government pension or retirement money. So um, we're gonna look at this is basically 500. This is $400 invested into Bitcoin every month. So this is basically $100 a week, right? So for 5 years since October uh, 2019. You can do that for any date, but I just choose since that date for 5 years, and then we look at the trend. We see your money, right? For the first year, I would say it's kind of flat, same as US dollars and gold, and then and then that's when it started to go up again exponentially in the second year, and then it stayed up, right? And then it start going down again to meet with the dollar rate of saving, and then from there it goes up exponentially and even higher from before. So this is how you build wealth on Bitcoin, and this is called dollar cost averaging. You just buying regardless the price is going up or down. You set your time, which is every week or every month when you get paid. When you have money to pay to buy and you get paid from your work, you save into it. So if you look at of a year. So if you do that every month, five for 400, right? So you would be saving in the 5 years, you would be saving 24,400. So let's say 24,000, right? So 24,500 is how much you would be saving in total in cash, and then your investment into Bitcoin would be equal to $76,000. So that's a percentage change of 20 or 211%, right? 211%, and then if it was in gold, you would have 15% from that time. You would only have 28,287, and then if it's in dollars, right, in dollars, you would have a 19%, right? Based on where if you're getting a 5% rate from the bank, a 3 to 4% rate from the bank, from the treasury yield, so you'll be getting 19%. That would be 29,000. So you see, it's a big change. It's a big difference between Bitcoin and uh, dollars or gold, right? So now we're gonna look at, now this is the return, right? It's 211% in the past 5 years. Um, this is Apple, right? So if you invested, if you had $1,000 5 years ago, you put that into Apple, and then you start accumulating. Same thing, you're doing $400 a month, and then you're just accumulating every month, right? So with that, you would be getting about $45,000, right? That's your max. Your max is at $45,000. So the percentage gain, the gain would be about 81%, right? 81% percentage gain in Apple. So if you do that with S&P 500, right? So you would be putting in $1,000 initially, the first, right? The first start, 1,000, and then you would be putting in 400 every month, right? So from that, you would be getting about $33,000, right? So kind of less than Apple, which is 45,000. So this is what you'll be getting, right? So 33,000, and you would be a percentage gain of 32%. So let's look, if you do that for Bitcoin, same thing. You put in $400 every month, $400 every month, plus that $1,000, right? That that $1,000 you put the initial investment, and then in 5 years that will be give you this, because Bitcoin is going up at 50% a year annually, right? Annualized, right? It will be 50%. So so you would be at about 11,000. Let's say 10,000. So that 10,000 plus the return, right? The return of your monthly investment, your DC investment, plus 76,000. That would be about $86,000. Okay? So that would be our $86,000 of return you would be having on your money, compared to 45,000, right? So compared to 45,000 from Apple, that's 45,000 from Apple, and then you have about 33,000 from the S&P 500, right? So that so you make about like 50,000 more, right, using Bitcoin instead of the S&P 500, and you make about 40,000 more using Bitcoin instead of Apple, right? So for some people, that's a big difference, and that's, for some people, it means you working an extra year, right? For some people, it's like it's not, no, for some people it's like not working for an extra year. It's like saving yourself an extra year using Bitcoin instead of Apple. um, for some people it's even 2 years, right? Like let's say we extend that, if we extend that for 10 years, then you see the magic. It would be like, let's say 9 years. Let's say we extend that for 9 years. It would be all vastly different. That would be, so at $400 a month, and then you have that $400 a month. That would be 43,000 total, and then you would be at $1 million, right? And $1 million, 116,000. So that would be a return of 2,400%, right? 2,400%. So let's look if we do that for Apple over 10 years, so 10 years would be 2014, right? So, and let's say you start with nothing, right? So let's see what it give you. So if you start from zero like this, so it gives you a return of 346%, right? So you'd only have the final value would be at 215,000, right? $215,000 for the 10 years of work. And then on Bitcoin, you would be getting 1,100,000. So you do that, you do the math, right? You do how many times difference, right? So again, for some people, that's years and years of saving, right? Of not having to work, right? Like when you invest in the Bitcoin. So that's again, if you want to build wealth, you want something that's the money that goes up the fastest, the fastest over time, right? The money that go the fastest, because those investments like the S&P 500, they're just trying to keep up with the inflation rate, right? The real inflation rate is more than 4%. It's the real inflation rate is at 10 to 20%, 10 to 15%, right? 10 to 15%. Things are going up higher, right? Like airplane tickets are going up like at the faster rate because fuel prices going up and food are going up, right? Wages are going up, so um, people are paying more and more and more for things. So you should expect to pay more in your retirement for things. If you want somebody to come take care of you, you're gonna pay that person a wage, right? You're not gonna pay them the same wage as of today. You're gonna pay them the wage of 10 years from now or 15 years from now. So that's why we need to save for the next 10 to 20 years, right? In the next 9 years. Okay, so even though I said the years for 9 years, right? You can still beat them, right? Because for them it was 10 years, right? I put this for Apple for 10 years. We can still beat them in a factor of like 5 to 6, right? So it's really important to look at Bitcoin in that angle. That's my mission, is to teach people about those kind of benefits Bitcoin brings. It's not about speculation and up and try to make some money, quick bucks, and then exit. It's about the long run, right? You want to save for the future, and you want to guarantee, you want to protect your future, protect your retirement, protect your kids' future, right? So if you want to protect your business, right? This is why you use Bitcoin, right? So you don't use it for the trade in and out and try to make some quick bucks and get out, right? So when there's a bull run, right, and you don't try to FOMO, right, too fast and put all your money. That's not the best strategy. Uh, and I would say when prices are lower, when the market is crashing, when the market crashed in every, for example, in the bottom year 2022, when everybody is afraid, right? That's where you build your conviction. You build your conviction. Your studies. You learn more about it. You know what it is. So once you build your conviction, you understand it. You know that's something that's not going away anytime. So then you can put your investment into it, right? Because you understand it, because you know it. So, and this is why I have this channel to teach you about what Bitcoin is, right? So the more you learn, the more you have the confidence to put more into it. So anyways, I hope this was helpful, and I hope this helped you with your retirement on Bitcoin. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you again.